Welcome back to a brand new episode of All Things Honor and 7 days from tonight. That is right, 1 week from today, we are officially going to be in the final battle as Ring of Honor presents its last pay-per-view of the year. But before we get there, we have to, of course, review another episode of Ring of Honor TV. That's a lot of good, a lot of bad, and a lot of things in between. So, let's get things started. We start out with Billie Starkz versus Danny Mo, which I was very excited about because Danny Mo is a regular wrestler here at my home independent company, so very nice to see her on the Ring of Honor programming. Unfortunately, should not get that much offense. Starks dominated this match as she moves on to her huge final battle match next week, and after the match was over, Athena attacked her from behind. Starks and Athena fought around the arena as security tried to hold them back. Unfortunately, Athena attacked all the security members as Athena kept on saying that this was her show and Starks was not going to be the one to take the title from her. Now, I believe that there's going to be some type of stipulation for this match. We find out later on in the show this is the main event. Lexi Nair is going to be the special guest ring announcer, but I would not be surprised if they do like a fight without honor or a street fight or something like that because that's where it looks like we're heading given this segment. But Billie Starkz wins. That was kind of cool. But it was a squash ultimately. Next, we have a Wheeler Yuta promo next, and I don't know if I could be mad about this, but our pure title will unfortunately not be on the line next week because Yuta says that him and Danielson are looking for a fight. Daniel says that Final Battle has meant a lot in his career, and the only time he has ever fought Jay Briscoe was on a Final Battle, I believe in 2003 or 2004. Danielson lays out the challenge where the BCC will fight FTR and Mark Briscoe in a tribute to Jay. Like I said, I don't know if I can get so mad about this because this is a tribute match to Jay Briscoe. But given that this is the biggest show of the year, I did expect all the titles to be on the line. But this should be really good. I mean, Danielson coming back to Ring of Honor is something that I think everyone was hoping for when Tony Khan had purchased it. And we get to see him compete at Final Battle. And please have him come out. I don't think he's going to come out to Final Countdown, though, but it would be just so fitting. It's going to suck that he's not going to do that. Next, Johnny TV makes his Ring of Honor debut as he fights Dalton Castle, and this match had so much time. Almost too much time. It really dragged out. I do like the idea of Johnny being in Ring of Honor since QT Marshall is no longer in the company, so the whole QTV stable has had to kind of find their own way. Halfway through the match, Taya Valkyrie came out to help Morrison win the match, but Kiera Hogan came out and stopped her. So that's kind of hinting at a Taya Valkyrie Kiera Hogan feud, which I am very excited about. But Dalton Castle took advantage and got the win, and Castle should be the one to win that TV title next week. So this made sense for him to win. I do think that Johnny TV is going to get that last spot in the six-way because we only have 5 of the 6 competitors announced. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that next week as well. Next, we have Rachel Ellering versus Nikki Victory. Maria Kanellis and Layla Hirsch accompanied Ellering to ringside to continue the storyline that has gone on throughout the last couple weeks. Kanellis tried to cost Ellering the match by grabbing her foot, which did not make Ellering too happy, but she got the win nonetheless. I enjoy having Kanellis with 2 up-and-comers within the Ring of Honor Women's Division. I'm excited to see where this is really going to play out. I think ultimately Layla is going to have to pick a side, and Layla's going to turn on Maria, but we have a long ways to go before we get there, and this is not even the last we see of my own wrestling mentor on this program as well. Next, we have an Athena interview as Athena says that Starks betrayed all the minions out there, and that is why she attacked her after her match on last night's episode. She also says that she has great news for Lexi Nair, which is that Billie Starkz and Athena will be the main event of Final Battle, meaning that Athena will officially be the only woman to main event 2 Ring of Honor pay-per-views back to back. Lexi Nair will also be the special guest ring announcer, and this is very exciting, especially because it does not look like the world title is going to be defended on the show. This makes perfect sense. And I am just so excited to see how this match comes about. Like no one's gonna disturb me next Friday. It's Athena, Kimmy, Billie Starkz day. It's my day. I've been overly excited about this. If you follow me on Twitter, you know Going off crazy. Next is the workhorsemen versus the infantry, and the biggest problem I have with this is something I said last week. We have all these tag teams that are fighting for no apparent reason because our tag team title picture is still in question. The infantry has grown on me in the last couple months, and they are a viable tag team. Unfortunately, a miscommunication between both Bravo and Team cost them the match, and the workhorsemen has been getting a lot of wins. I know they did something on Collision this past week as well, so it looks like Ring of Honor is investing in them. So I'm excited to see where that goes. But can we please fix the tag team division? Thank you. Next, we had the Renegades versus Lady Frost and Trisha Dora, and this, in my opinion, was the Renegades' best tag team match in Ring of Honor. Their heel work and constant banter towards the crowd made this way more enjoyable, and I also would not mind seeing Frost and Adora team together more often. They are two up-and-comers that are amazing wrestlers, and they have a bright future in 2024, so excited to see where they go from there. And I also would not be surprised if somehow they go on a 0 hour match next week against maybe Layla Hirsch and Rachel Ellering. Actually, they should do that. That's a good idea. Next, we had a Maria Kanellis promo. Maria said that she did not grab Ellering's foot and she did not do anything wrong. We all know that is not true. Hirsch takes Kanellis aside and says that she has Ellering's back and she has always had hers. Looks like Hirsch has looked past her stubborn ways, and it looks like, she's okay with having friends in the company again. This is very exciting. Because remember, a couple weeks ago, she didn't want anyone's help. Now she has all these people helping her. Next, we had our first of 3 Ring of Honor TV Championship Survival of the Fittest matches. This was between Josh Woods and Lee Johnson, and I had a lot of problems with this from a storyline point of view. First of all, we were hinting at Lee Johnson joining Shane Taylor Promotions, and it looks like we've just dropped that entirely. Also, Josh Woods and the Pure title, looks like we've dropped that entirely. But this match was good. I think both Johnson and Woods have found success within Ring of Honor. Johnson gets the upset win, which I was actually really shocked by because Woods had an 8-match winning streak and Johnson just ended that. I do think, however, Johnson is going to have a really good showing in the match next week, but still did not expect him to win this one. I thought Josh Woods was going to go to Final Battle. Next, we had the Outrunners versus the Righteous, and Jake Roberts did not come out with the Righteous, which again confused me because they made a very big deal that Jake Roberts was with the Righteous and he was not here on Ring of Honor. Again, tag teams fighting for no reason because there's no tag team titles. The Righteous win though. Good job, Vincent and Dutch. Next, we had our second Survival of the Fittest, Tracy Williams versus Lee Moriarty. This match was amazing, and this was actually my favorite match on the episode. Moriarty is so good at what he does, and his work with Ring of Honor proves that. Ever since this new era of Ring of Honor has taken place, however, Williams has yet to get a win. But he continues to put on amazing performances, and this match, it got a lot of time. It showed the technical style the Ring of Honor is known for, and Lee Moriarty gets his huge win and punches his ticket. So Lee squared. Lee Johnson and Lee Moriarty is going to be in that match in Final Battle. Next, we have a Dalton Castle promo. Castle says that he is officially on the road for Final Battle and he is made for TV. Johnny TV interrupts and says that he is more TV ready than Castle. They shout out different 90s TV shows at each other until Taya Valkyrie interrupted. She said the only reason Castle won earlier in the night was because Castle had an army and Kiera Hogan and the boys. Johnny says that there is no one better than him and he is ready to become TV champion, which is why, like I said, I firmly do believe he will get that last spot in the TV title Survival of the Fittest match. If he doesn't, I don't know why we did this. Next, we had the Butcher and the Blade versus the Boys. Again, we're fighting for no reason. The one thing I actually wouldn't mind, I suggested this in my article for PW Insider, was that if all 3 teams that won on this episode do like a triple threat match, and the winner gets the tag titles. I wouldn't mind that. That would make sense. That's not going to happen though. Butcher and Blade win, and now they are on a 2-match winning streak in Ring of Honor, which is nice to see. Next, we had a Griff Garrison, Maria Kanellis, and Cole Carter promo. Garrison said that since he and Carter have been hanging out outside of wrestling, they are brothers now. And Carter says they've been waiting for matching gear and they do not know what else to do. Kanellis said they should change their entrance song and begin singing a song that she came up with. Carter and Garrison just look stunned that Kanellis can sing. If you didn't know, Kanellis, this was a very long time ago, actually sang music. She has, I think, I think she has a couple songs on Spotify and Apple Music that you could go listen to. So this is really cool to see. My mentor can do it all. Next was Christopher Daniels versus Angelico, and since challenging for the Ring of Honor World title, Angelico has fallen down the card a lot, which I found shocking because he was on a good run until he lost to Kingston, and I actually thought that he was going to get a spot in the TV title Survival of the Fittest, but we're not doing that apparently. Serpentico grabs Daniels' leg for Angelico to get advantage and take the win. After the match, Daniels beat down Serpentico, but the numbers game caught up to Christopher Daniels. We get Danhausen and Orange Cassidy to come to the aid of Daniels as Angelico took a shot at Cassidy. Obviously, tonight on Rampage, they are doing Angelico versus Orange Cassidy, but I would not be surprised if at the pay-per-view they were to do Orange Cassidy and Christopher Daniels versus Angelico and Serpentico. Don't know if they're going to do that. Maybe on 0 Hour, but don't be surprised if they do that. Next, we had the Tony Nese Ethan Page contract signing, which took way too long, which is why the main event was only 5 minutes. So Tony Khan was here, which I thought we had a board of directors in Jerry Lynn and Stokely Hathaway. So why, right? So this is also the first time we've done something like this on this version of Ring of Honor. So that was exciting to see. Mark Sterling says that since Ethan Page made sure Sterling was going to be handcuffed to the post, they made sure that this match was going to be an I Quit match. Sterling brings up old photos of Page saying that he has quit throughout everything he has done in his life and next week will be no different. Page says that he came to Ring of Honor because he promised his daughter that he would become a champion. He says that Nese is one of the best professional wrestlers in Ring of Honor, but after Sterling messed with his undefeated streak, this has become personal. He swears that he is going to make Nese say, I quit. And when he does that, he will go back on the path of winning gold. Page wants to win gold to add to the legacy of Ethan Page, where Nese will always have to thank Sterling for everything he has accomplished within Ring of Honor. Nese says that Page will always be a quitter and a loser, as Sterling tries to come up with a solution by helping Page, but he just creates a problem every single time. Nese says he is going to give Page one last piece of advice, and that is to always take your protein as he throws protein powder in his face as the two begin to fight. Nese puts Page through a table as Nese stands tall and proud. Now, I necessarily did not have a problem with this segment. I thought it made sense. However, it was way too long, and it was just like, why? Like, I get it. This is a very personal feud, and this match should be good, especially now that it has a stipulation on it. But still, we need more time for the matches. And that takes us to our final Survival of the Fittest match, our main event, which is Gravity versus Kyle Fletcher. This match felt rushed, and you could just tell. Like, they were just trying to hit all their spots in 4 minutes. Fletcher has been good, making the most of his singles run on Ring of Honor, and it shows how determined he is to leave a good mark in Ring of Honor. Since the match was rushed, you really couldn't enjoy it, and I really do hope that somewhere down the line they do run this one back. But Kyle Fletcher punches his ticket to Texas next week. Overall, Ring of Honor seems to be getting back on track heading into this show next week. Besides the main event, all the matches got a lot of time, and we have storylines back on the show, which is something I've been complaining about for months. The only problem I have with this episode is we still don't have an answer of what we're doing with the tag team division, and I also am very shocked that they aren't having Eddie Kingston wrestle on the pay-per-view, meaning that he is champion. I think that's very stupid, and he just looks like the biggest hypocrite after his promo a couple weeks ago where he talks about him being a fighting champion and he's not going to be on the biggest show of the year. But we have 7 more days for us to figure out all those little details. But that is it for me. Thank you all for checking out another episode of All Things Honor, and I'll see you next week where we're predicting Final Battle, we're reviewing the Go Home show, and then it is Final Battle time. Until then, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.